Hi, this is Shane with Balance Pros, and I'm going to show something that's come up a couple of times just in the last week, where you have a patient that is leaning back in the wheelchair. You might call them retropulsive, but they don't have that wherewithal to just bend forward at the waist and stand. So when the staff tries to help them stand, they're more leaning back, almost like they're kind of water skiing, but they're so scared of coming forward. So one treatment idea with them is to set up an activity. So we'll use the balance trainer and we'll put the platforms down low. Bear with me while I set this up. So the idea is we want to give them targets that they're going to have to flex at the waist and stretch and bend forward to make that happen. So using the rings and the pegs is a great option for this. Now keep in mind, I'm really the therapist over here, and I'm right in front of that patient, so I can cue them and kind of coach them to do what I want, but I'm not pulling them and forcing them to do this motion. So now I'm back here as the patient. Leave that as the therapist. So as the therapist, I would hand this patient a green ring and say, I want you to place it on the green platform. So they're going to naturally need to bend forward to make that happen. If it's a color that's lower down, they're going to have to bend forward again to make that happen. So just by setting up the environment to get the movement or the activity that you want, you're going to be able to hopefully encourage that patient to start to flex forward at the waist and stretch and lean forward. So they would place all the rings out, and there's 12 rings, and then they would return those rings back to me so I could put them in the bucket. So that's giving them a total of 24 opportunities to flex at the waist and come forward. So now they're starting to feel more comfortable from that. So a nice follow-up exercise might be to go and see if we can transfer that into a sit-to-stand motion. So I might bring the platforms back up higher. But if things went well in that first exercise, I want to see if I can parlay that into a sit-to-stand transfer. And again, keep in mind, I'm still right here on the rolling stool in front of them, and I'm handing them the rings and coaching them along. So I know I'm doing both sides by myself. I should get some kind of acting award, I think. But anyhow, so now when they're sitting, I'll give them that ring. So they'll have to reach forward, or if it's one that's going to be up taller, they're going to have to stand and come forward. I might need to bring that wheelchair further back or move the trainer further away from them so I continue to encourage that forward motion. And then with any luck, we get standing. Another option is to get them right in the parallel bars and get them walking. So there's something magical about walking. When we start to take steps, we start to self-right, and many times can be more successful with that as a treatment option as well. So that gives you 3 ideas for that retropulsive patient to help get them back up over on top of their feet and get them standing where they can start to do and participate in functional activities. So as always, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again in future videos.